Hi, I'm Bob Balch. Today I'm going to be talking to you about jury duty. So I am on jury duty again. I live in Jefferson County, Texas. And last May, I was on jury duty as well. So what happens is they send out these jury summonses and you register online, and then you're given a date that you have to show up at the courthouse, and you're in the jury pool. They ask you a bunch of questions, and then maybe if you're fortunate or not fortunate, you get selected to be on a jury. Basically, and I don't know if this is the way that juries are selected at all times in every place, but the way that it works on all of the jury pools that I've been is they first determine whether you're eligible or not to be on the jury. If you're not eligible, your number gets stricken off of their list. And then after all of the questions, the prosecution, they have a certain number of strikes that they can take numbers off the list, and then the defense, they have a certain number of strikes so they can take people off the list, and then they just go in order. So if juror number one was ineligible, or if the prosecution or if the defense struck them off, they're gone. And then the same is true for number two and number three and number four. And then let's say that number five, they were eligible and no one struck them off, they're on the jury. So basically, you are not selected to be on the jury. You're selected to be off the jury. And the remaining 12 people plus one alternate, the remaining 12 or 13 people, they are going to be on the jury. So you're not actually selected. You're going to be on the jury. It's all these other people are not going to be on the jury, and you are. So how do you get selected to be on the jury? The first time I was selected, I was one of the people that they spoke to, and they said, so if the prosecution, if you know that this person is a bad person, this person is guilty of all kinds of crimes, this person has a huge criminal record, this person is, and they just went down a list, could you convict them if not every single point in the list of this crime was proven? And I said, this was my response. My response was, if they proved that he did a crime, they proved that it was on a certain date, they proved that everything except they didn't prove that it was in this jurisdiction, I would have to find them innocent because they're not guilty of that specific crime because you didn't prove every element of the crime. And so I got selected to be on the jury when I spoke out that time. Last May, when I was on jury duty, again, they asked me a question. I don't remember the exact question that it was. It was something about, do you think about if someone is a convicted felon and they are out of prison, do you think it's okay for them to be in possession of a firearm? Personally, and I said, well, it doesn't matter what my personal feelings are. If I'm on a jury, I have to go by what the law says. And so I got selected to be on that jury duty. And so this time I didn't answer any questions at all. They didn't ask me anything except how to pronounce my last name. And other than that, my mouth stayed closed the entire time, and I got selected. So actually didn't get selected. Everybody else got selected to not be on the jury. So that's how I got selected to be on the jury 4 times. The other time when there was no actual trial, I don't think I said anything that time either. So it's kind of like a 50-50 thing. If you have the right answer, they're not going to strike you off. If you don't say anything at all and give them a reason to strike you off, then you're not going to get stricken off anybody's list either. So if you want to be on jury duty, and they ask you a question, I think the answer is, if you want to be on jury duty, your answer should be, I'm going to go by what the law says. I'm a strict rule follower, and that's it. My personal opinion doesn't matter. I'm going to go by what the law says. That kind of fits in my two answers that I gave. Or the other way is don't say a word. And if you don't say a word, then you'll probably be selected as well, because everybody else that's talking, they're giving reasons for either the defense or the prosecution to strike them. So there you go. If you want to be on jury duty, that's how you do it. And this time, the jury that I'm on is a very difficult case. Now, I've been on jury duty. I've been selected for a jury 3 times in my life. But this case is going to be tough. So the defendant is a guy named Defendant Michael Lawrence Pousson, and he is accused of a continual sexually aggravated assault or something like that on a child for more than 30 days. And it's going to be a pretty interesting case, I think. I wanted to share it with you every day that I get home from jury duty. I'm going to make a video. Of course, I'm not going to publish anything till the trial is over. But just wanted to share with you my thoughts about being on jury duty and this trial in particular. So being on jury duty, this will be my 4th time to be on jury duty. The first time I was on jury duty, it was a very short case. The man was obviously very guilty. He was hoping to not be convicted based on one flaw in the prosecution, where everything was on video, but their audio recording wasn't working completely. But it was so obvious that he was guilty that it was very quickly found guilty. The second case, we were in the process of being selected, and then the judge said, never mind, the defense has made a deal. I don't know if he pled guilty or pled to a lesser charge or what, but that was that. And then last May, in May of 2022, I was on a jury where a man was accused of possessing a firearm after being a convicted felon. And in Texas, you have a certain number of years where you can't own a firearm or be in possession of a firearm after you've gotten out of prison. And the evidence just wasn't there for that one, and we found him not guilty. So a year later, I'm on jury duty again. And this particular case is interesting. So the way I got selected is in Jefferson County. I think they send out about 4,000 jury summons mailing things every single week, I think, or week or month. I'm not sure. 4,000. And out of those 4,000, I think it's a week. And then after those are sent out, people have to take their little jury summons and they go online and they type in all their information. They have to answer some questions, and then they're given a date that they have to show up for jury duty. And so I did that, and I get there, and we're supposed to show up at 1 o'clock. So that tells me it's going to be a very short trial if it's just a one-day thing, or it's going to actually start on the next day. So we actually didn't get called back into the room to talk to the judge and the prosecuting attorney and the defense attorney for, I think it was about 30, 45 minutes after 1 o'clock. And they give us all a number. My number was number 31. And we all sit down in there, and then they ask a series of questions. Now, I think there are 55 slots to be in the pool, and 8 people didn't show up. So 55 minus 8 is 47. So I guess there were 47 of us. And again, I was number 31. And they go through this whole series of questions. And some of the questions are things like, are you eligible to be here? Do you live in Jefferson County? Do you plan on being in Jefferson County for this week? Did you move yesterday, or are you in the process of moving, I guess? And some of the other questions regarding eligibility to be on the jury are regarding if you have a criminal record, if you're under investigation for some type of a crime or something like that. So after they find out whether you're eligible to be in the jury or not, they ask you some questions, and those questions are to filter out the people that are not going to be good jurors for this particular trial. A couple of questions are things like, can you convict someone if the minimum sentence is 20 or 25 years and it could go all the way to life, 99 years? Can you do that? Can you be a part of a jury where the victim is less than 14 years old? Can you be a part of a jury where the only evidence is probably going to be the testimony of one witness who is a child? Can you convict someone on the testimony of a child? Can you did you have something in your past that where you've been the victim of sexual abuse, or you know someone who's close to you has been the victim of sexual abuse? And they go through all these questions, and then they say, okay, well, if you have a if you listen to the testimony of this child witness and you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, believe everything that child said, beyond the shadow of a doubt, how comfortable are you in convicting? 1, very comfortable; 2, comfortable; 3, uncomfortable; or 4, very uncomfortable. And so I think I gave a 2. And they just go through all these questions to see whether or not you're going to be a good juror or a good pick. And then we just kind of got into a discussion, and a lot of people that were in the pool of potential jurors were saying things like, I wouldn't be able to trust what a child says because, children lie. And there were several teachers that were in the jury pool as well, and they were talking about instances that have happened in the school setting where false allegations have been made against teachers, and we went through things like where there are conflicts in a custody battle, and a mother convinces their child to say these things against the father so that they could have custody of the child, or revenge. If a child just hates you or something, they could say something like that. And we went through all those types of things, and then they let us out of the jury room, and the people that had issues that from their past that made them uncomfortable, the judge and the attorneys wanted to talk to them individually in private, and so that took about an hour. There were several people that were in the pool that needed to speak with the judge and the attorneys, and once that was done, we were called back in, and they said, okay, well, we've made our selection, and so when we say your number, we want you to go and get in the panel where the jury sits. And so they, went through all these numbers. I don't remember all the numbers. And then they said, juror number 7 is going to be this number. And they go in order. And then they said, juror number 8, you're number 31. And that was me. So I'm juror number 8 in this trial. And so what does that mean? Well, the trial, the judge, we got out of there about 5 o'clock or so, maybe a little bit later, and the judge said, okay, so we're going to meet on Tuesday. That was yesterday. That was Monday, and then so tomorrow, Tuesday, we're going to meet for the first day of the trial. We're not going to meet on Wednesday. We are going to meet on Thursday, probably Friday, and possibly Monday next week. So this is going to be a long trial. And that's not including the jury deliberation time. And I'm kind of nervous about this because this is a big deal. You just have one witness. They said there's not going to be any corroborating evidence, like DNA or other eyewitnesses, and things like that. There's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be basically, do you believe the witness testimony or not? One of the questions when they were talking to us was, could you convict a person based solely on the witness testimony if you believe that witness beyond the shadow of a doubt. If there was no other evidence, could you convict? And I think I could, if I believe someone beyond the shadow of a doubt, I could convict someone if I believe the witness beyond the shadow of a doubt. I definitely could say, yes, that person is guilty because I believe them to be so, because I believe the witness beyond the shadow of a doubt. I think what a better question would have been is, can you believe a witness to be, can you believe a witness to have a testimony that is beyond the shadow of a doubt if there is no other evidence? I think that would have been a better question. And so if they ask that question, can someone's testimony be beyond the shadow of a doubt if there is no other evidence? That's a tough question. Now, I would really have to think about that. Fortunately, I don't have to. They didn't ask that question, but that's a tough question, right? If there is no corroborating evidence, can you believe a witness beyond the shadow of a doubt? And so we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. It all depends on the witness, I guess. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing this week, and I will be making these videos every evening when I get home. They said to bring a notebook if you'd like to, take copious notes if you'd like to. Can't share them with the other jurors or anything like that, but I'll share them with you when I get home, and just pray for me. This is the That's Jesus channel, and so I just want for justice to be done. If this person is innocent, I want justice to be done and them not have to go to prison. And I want justice to be done if a little girl was raped and this man is guilty. I want justice to be done as well. So we'll see. He is absolutely innocent unless proven guilty. It's not until proven guilty. It's unless he's proven guilty. And so we'll see how this goes. Stay tuned. I'm Bob Balch with That's Jesus channel. Be blessed.